why you flourish when you're flexible. So keep that spine flexible. What you don't use, you lose, you see, because you're not activating it. You're not doing it. People say, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. Well, have you ever tried? Well, yeah, but I'm not very good. Yeah, because you're not continuing. If you want to, you can do anything. It's all possible for you. And you know, well, you have to be realistic, you know, and you have to stand your ground there. Just stand your ground, you know. No, well, inside, yeah, of course. Always honor your own integrity, your honor. That who you are, always, and what you are. So in being flexible, we could go with the flow. That means we can be organic in our work, in our relationships, in our health and everything, because take a look at what you're really seeking. And we're all pleasure seekers. Why? Because pleasure is our nature. We are pleasure. We are the pleasure of God. Now, how that is taken by the false, because the false psychopathic God has no original ideas. They're copies, so they're simulations. And that's called a virtual reality. That's what they call it in also the Vedas and the Puranas. The Bhagavad Gita is very, very good. And if you're a real spiritual researcher, you want to study, you know, these different teachings, because there's some gems that you will find, but you have to have discernment. You have to know how to determine if something is true or somebody else's opinion, or they're trying to indoctrinate you with whatever they want you to believe, because it's fear-based. Guilt-based. It's you don't have it, you're going to get it from somebody else, kind of a thing, you see. So you want to be flexible. And what that means doesn't mean you go are blown around by the wind. It doesn't mean you don't get on. But when we get it's too easy, like a tree that can't bend will break off. And many people say, well, you know, it's the principle of the thing. What is the principle? Well, it's just the principle. What is the principle of it? Nobody knows. Well, they've got some idea. They can just say, well, I got to say it because it's a principle. Or my family was this, and my honor is this, and my name is this. And you got all these rules and regulations, and then we police everybody else because everybody's got to line up. You see, everybody's got to, you know, follow the rules. Everybody's got to stay rigid and taught. It's even like being taught something with tense. So that means when something comes along, instead of already judging it as bad and horrible and terrible, because what are you using as your criteria anyway? Because that which is the divine, even though you are part of that and divine, we are not the totality. So there is that which is beyond us, because that has not been revealed to us as yet, nor or have we been ready for it. So the problem when we're rigid in our mind and in the body is the same people, they do, you know, I love to dance. Now, I use dancing as an exercise in the sense I don't do the same moves every moment, you see, because you're staying flexible. But you don't sacrifice your moral values that you know that you honor, because it's who you are. And no one can determine that but you. And when you're flexible, you stay green. You grow, you learn, you're open, and then you witness how the divine works it out. Oh, you're late, you took the wrong corner. No, that's what needed to be, because that's what happened. And so when you could get into that, it's not fate and destiny. Fate and destiny basically are a control structure kind of a thing. This is your fate, this is your astrological sign, this is your number, this is what you do, blah, blah, blah. This is such minuscule, petty, limited, structured box mentality. I don't worship a box. I don't worship anything. That's war. See? When you know who you are and you're beloved, you have the pleasure. And you can roll with the punches. Like when I do a lot of walking and trekking and all of this, and most of the time barefooted when, weather allows and stuff. But I'm low to the ground because I trip or I fall, but I'm balanced, you see. Why? And it's an exercise in consciousness and being now. Because when we're unconscious, that's when the trouble happens. When we fall, when we trip, when we automatically respond to something, when we get upset, we get moody, we get all these things we got going on all the time because we're rigid. So if you just breathe, wait a while, don't label it, judge it, stay in the divine, and witness. Yeah.